Hey everybody, Seth with Everyman Prepping here, and I hope you're having a great weekend. It's Sunday today, and hopefully you had some time to do some prepping or some work this weekend. I myself started looking at spring planting. I know it's the dead of winter right now, but if you're like me and you plant from your own seeds, you do your big garden, well, you got to start looking now. Do an inventory. Do you have enough seeds? Do you have enough supplies? And also, you got to draw out that garden. Make sure you got that crop rotation going on. All that good stuff, which we'll talk about as we get closer to spring. But I started doing it now. Hopefully if you're planning on doing your own garden, you might want to start thinking about doing that on your own. But right now I want to talk about, we're going to update some news stories going on in the Red Sea, what's going on with the IRGC and the airstrikes on them. Has there anything happened since Friday? A few other stories going on out there. At the last story at the end, we're going to talk about a social phenomenon going right now that, maybe we need some grid down or something to help fix humans because we might have gone too far already. So we'll look at that at the end. But right now, let's look at this story here. Also, if you could hit that like button, subscribe, share, and comment on the video, I'd much appreciate it. And thank you for all the support you have given. But this is the U.S. coalition has attacked nearly 40 Houthi sites this weekend. So from yesterday, Saturday to today, they say they hit 40 Yemen strikes in the Houthi area. Trying to stop the attacks in the Red Sea. Has it helped or not? Well, we're going to see in a minute. But on Sunday, the Pentagon said its forces struck anti-ship cruise missile launch positions in Yemen that were ready to attack. That's the big thing now. We attack these positions because they are ready to go. And this followed a bigger wave that happened on Saturday, which involved UK planes as well. Of course, they're calling it a coalition. There's two of us, so it's a coalition. They attacked over 30 targets in 13 locations from air and ship attacks, including the F-18 fighters you see right there. This is a stock photo. I don't know if this is one that actually went there or not. So we're, hitting Yemen again. Is that going to deter anything? Well, according to this post here, the Houthis show no sign of backing down. And what you see here is, well, I don't know. They like to have a lot of rallies. So there's another, military truck parade rally thing going on. I don't know. But I found this, like I said, on some of my other source intelligence people I follow on X, and here you see, the parade. They're happy. Yemen's happy. You're not going to deter them, and you're not, because not only had that going on, but we have this statement coming from, the Yemenis armed forces in the Sana'a government saying this will not deter us, and it says these attacks will not deter us from our moral, religious, and humanitarian stance in support of the steadfast Palestinian people in the Gaza Strip, which will not go unpunished. And then you have some, these are some of the strikes they say that happened on the Yemeni side. They're not deterred apart. These people are used to war in this country. They're used to being attacked. Saudi Arabia's been going after them for a long time. So these bombings that the U.S. has done is not really, doing much to suppress them. So as it says here, it's an open war. So Houthis not deterred one bit. And I'm sure between now, Sunday, and Monday, we're going to probably see some more launches at ships in the Red Sea. And as we go on to here, we see the U.S. Today, they have all the guys, they trot them out to the Sunday shows, and they interview them. And so they're warning of further retaliation if Iran-backed militia continue their attacks. So if you continue attacking, well, we're going to do something. So, because nothing's happened since Friday. They did all that, the 185 targets, 125 bonds, 7 sites, whatever it was. On Friday, nothing since then. But, Jake Sullivan, basically came out. They trotted him out in some of the Sunday shows, and they said that Iran could expect a swift and forceful response if it or not one of its proxies choose to respond directly against the United States. So, what do you think happened? Well, we have this. The Islamic resistance in Iraq has claimed responsibility for a one-way suicide drone attack today on the U.S. patrol base in the oil fields in eastern Syria. They put out, the IRGC put out a little statement saying, in continuation to our approach in resisting the occupation and support of people of Gaza, blah, blah, blah. They basically said, we bombed you. So still attacking our bases. Nothing since Friday. Will they do something else? We shall see. Now, I want to go back to one thing when I was talking about Yemen and, attacks on the Red Sea. I forgot it. Let me put this up. I had this set to go. And this is companies that have been affected by the shipping in the Red Sea or canceled it. Things are affecting it. So we have autos, Greeley, Michelin, Suzuki, Tesla, Volvo, all being impacted. Energy, oil, of course, you got BP, Edison, Qatar Energy, Shell, all the big companies, Valero. Yes, they're impacted. Logistics, DHL and FedEx. I don't know why UPS isn't on there. Maybe they don't go through that area. Retailers, Adidas, Danone, IKEA, Pepco, Sainsbury, Target, Tractor Supply. Anybody in the country? Most people like Tractor Supply a lot. They're impacted. They're having a 2 to 20 day plus delay on stuff. Think about that. You're trying to get stuff. Others, Electrolux, appliances and things. I don't know what City or Evonik are. We got Levi and Strauss. You need some jeans, better get them now. Logitech, all this computer stuff you see, people use, all that stuff. So you have a bunch of companies here that are affected by what's going on in the Red Sea. So if you need stuff, get stuff, because as Yemen said, they're not slowing down. So let's move on with the next thing here after that. And that's going into Turkey. So it says the Turks, or Turkey, have begun mass production of their own missile systems. They get a lot of missiles from the United States. They get, the F-35, the F-16s, all the armaments for them, a lot of other, they're NATO, so they get all the NATO supplied equipment. And they also, are getting some S-300s and 400s from Russia. But they're going to start supplying their own missile systems. So it includes the Typhoon ballistic missiles, Sungar anti-aircraft missiles, some anti-tank missiles, some rockets. All these are produced in-house in Turkey. If we look down here, this is kind of what they look like. So you got to ask yourself, why is Turkey doing this? Why don't they just get them supplied from NATO and keep their stocks up? Well, a couple things come to mind. If you build it in-house, you control, delivery. You can't be, withheld on delays. You make it yourself, so you save money maybe. Plus, you put your own people to work. Sure. I think you start building it in-house because you don't trust your supplier. You don't trust the United States to get it to you. Maybe they'll sanction you. Maybe something's going to happen where they'll cut you off. Maybe the United States is going to need all their weapons, not going to have any to send to you. So Turkey developing their own weapon systems just means to me that they don't trust the supplier, which would be NATO, United States, and so forth. I'm not sure they're concerned about their S-300s from Russia. I don't know what else they get from them, but I think the supplier on the U.S. side is who they don't trust. They're going to build it in-house, have control of the supply system, have control of delivery, and probably fearing the United States is going to need their own stuff soon and won't be able to supply anybody else. So that's just another blip on the radar of, I think, where we're at, where we're headed, and what other countries are thinking about, which leads into Poland. They put out a NOTAM, which is a notice to air mission, air traffic for planes. So the Polish Air Navigation Service Agency, in coordination with the Air Force, issued this NOTAM, and it's from February 5th, so very soon here, all the way to May 5th, for the entire eastern side of the country, on the border with Ukraine, Belarus, and Lithuania, I believe, up there. I can show you better on this map here. So Poland here, it goes from basically Gdansk, and it includes Warsaw in there, the capital. So it goes all the way down there, follow this line here, and it goes all the way down to this little peninsula sticking out. So all this is included. So here you got Ukraine border, it's the border of Ukraine, Belarus, Lithuania, and includes Kaliningrad. So this whole area is in a NOTAM. And what is this NOTAM about? Well, it says here, it says, due to the reported possibility of unplanned military actions related to ensuing national security. So they think, their national security is at risk. Something might be happening, they think. There is an alert. What they're going to require people to do, it says, if you're a civilian aircraft which is operating in the zone, the red zone, that eastern side, you have to remain in radio contact with all the flight authorities. You have to have your transponder on, means transponder sends out a signal of, what the plane type is, what your destination is, where you came from, all that information's on the transponder, and they can track you on radar, obviously. And it says, what else we have to do here? And activate the transponder to prevent the disruption of increased activity by military aircraft. So they're going to tell you there's going to be increased military aircraft in the site. They want to know what's going on. If you don't have your transponder on, or if you're a drone or whatever, they're probably going to shoot you down. So this means to me, Poland maybe is expecting something to happen. Maybe in Kaliningrad from that time, maybe in Belarus, maybe in Ukraine, who knows? But the fact that they put the entire east side on a NOTAM, air NOTAM, saying, we're watching the skies for that time period, maybe they expect something to happen. So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll see. I don't know. Those aren't issued all the time in that wide of slot. They'll put little ones out for air shows or something else going on, protection, the president's going some places, meetings, national leaders. The eastern side of a country being put on that's pretty significant. So we'll keep an eye on that. Then we got Seymour Hurst. He's the one that, he's that investigative journalist that came out and said, the Nord Stream was bombed, by the United States. It wasn't Russia. He's out there doing that kind of stuff. So what has he said recently? Well, basically what we all kind of, knew ahead of time is that a lot of that money being sent to Ukraine is being stolen by Zelensky and his crew, basically being pilfered. And he said last year, the CIA director, William Burns, secretly flew to Kiev to warn Zelensky face-to-face that Washington was aware of his personal corruption and his unwillingness to dismiss dozens of officials that were who were named by Burns, they told him about, known to be deeply involved in diverting defense funds to personal accounts. So the United States basically said, stop stealing so much. We know you're stealing. Stop stealing as much. Probably not at all, but stop stealing as much as you're stealing. He also told the president, as reported, that there was anger among some of his subordinates because he was taking too large of a cut of the spoils. So some of Zelensky's subordinates were mad that Zelensky was stealing so much. Moral of the story is the United States, CIA, they know all this money is going over there and a lot of it's getting stolen, and they're okay with it because they told him basically, stop stealing so much. Not stop it at all. Not the fact we're stopping and pulling it back. No, just stop stealing so much. So there's your government at work for you, and confirms basically what we're saying if Seymour Hurst is right in his reporting. And then lastly, we have this. This is the social commentary. You have, the Apple Vision Pro came out, the little goggles you wear with the battery pack, and, puts basically virtual reality in front of your headset. And once again, The Simpsons predicted it. This is 2016 or 17. It's the 28th season of Simpsons. And as you can see here, we'll play is, they show people walking around the streets wearing a VR set. Looks remarkably like the Apple Vision Pro. And what do you know? His life is imitating art. Here we have a guy in San Jose, California. He's doing stuff with his Vision Pro, crossing the street. I don't know, he's reading his email. I don't know what he's doing there, but, is this maybe done for clicks? Who knows? There's a guy driving his Tesla. I've seen a lot of these. People think they're all staged, but still happening. So, that's great. People are not only driving that thing, but now they're driving and writing emails, and I don't know what he's doing there. This guy's trying to lift weights and do it. And then we have this happening here. This guy's probably, some social TikTok dude is trying to get money out of this, but, he's walking around Times Square with his thing on and strolling around. Then you have this gentleman here in the background. He is, walking through the streets. I don't know what country he's in right here, but he's, ordering some coffee and stuff. And, we got the thing walking on like that's what you're supposed to do. So, yeah, my comment on that, what you see there is, maybe it's time that CME, the EMP hits, and, we get rid of all this technology and kind of start over. Hit that reset button, pull that cartridge out, blow on it, put it back in, and reboot, because we're at the point where you're wearing VR goggles to get around life because you don't want to, you have to augment reality because it's not real enough, and you need to, input something else in it. Well, maybe that's the end for the human race. Maybe we need to start over at that point. I don't know. What do you think? Put in your comments below. What do you think about all these people doing these stunts or walk around real life with their Vision Pro on? So that's all I have for you. Like I said, I'd love to hear your comments below. And until next time, keep your ear to the ground, head on a swivel.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.